So I decided to make this video to kind of show you the gear that I have and what gear that you need as a producer or as an artist to just get started and get the basic down and start making more music at your home. So let's do it. So the very first thing, I'm gonna do this in order of what's most important, and then the little gadgets and cool stuff that you can. So the first thing is the computer. So I use this MacBook Pro 13-inch of 2017. Works great, haven't had any issues with it. But before, back in Argentina, when I first started, I used this old HP Stream laptop, which was crazy that I worked on it ever, but it worked out to start off. So any type of laptop, any type of desktop, you need to have one to be able to run your DAW, so your digital audio workstation, or your DAW. Your DAW is the main key of any audio recording and the base of your music production. So if you're a recording artist and you're gonna be recording vocals, pick the right one for you. If you're gonna producer and you're gonna start producing music, pick the right one for you. I use Ableton Live 10 because it's just Ableton, but I have a bunch of friends who use FL Studio, Logic, even GarageBand, Pro Tools. Just stick to one, learn the in and out, and then you'll be fine. Next are your headphones. So I use the Samsung SR850. I use the Samsung SR50 for my headphones, for my mixing headphones when I use them here, but the reason why I don't know them by heart is that headphones are important, but the type of headphones doesn't really matter. The Samsung is a pretty good one because it gives me a flat response, so it's great for mixing. I'm always listening to my mix afterwards on different types of headphones. I use the Apple EarPods just to listen to it, see how it sounds. I go in the car, I have a Bluetooth speaker. I use the Beats by Dre sometimes to listen to how it sounds. So you're gonna be testing your songs out on different speakers, so any type of headphone is good as long as it's comfortable, because you're gonna be listening to a lot of music and you're gonna be working on headphones for a long time. Then if you're a music producer, you're gonna need a MIDI keyboard. So I use the Novation Launch Key 25 and the Ableton Push 1. So MIDI keyboards, really, you can get any type that you want. It's not very important. You can get some very cheap ones. I have some links in the description as well. It's just a tool to help you to make music faster. So instead of drawing in all of your chords, drawing in your drums, you can have a MIDI keyboard and just play with it and just start doing your own chords. It's just much more fun to create music that way than another way. So a MIDI keyboard is a very good step. Now for the producers and the artists out there, you're gonna need a microphone and an audio interface. I use the MXL 770, which is a condenser mic, perfect for vocals and capturing really all the richness in any type of sounds that you're gonna be trying to do. Now, with that microphone, in order to record in your computer, you're gonna need an audio interface. So I use the Apollo Twin Mark II, which is a pretty high-priced one. But before, I used to use the M-Audio M-Track, which is perfectly fine for me, and I still use this for my live setup today whenever I do live shows. You can also use a USB microphone if you want to just start off, and you can totally skip the audio interface part, but you're going to need to invest in an audio interface soon. So there's going to be some cheaper links in the description below as well, so if you want to check it out. Now to go with it, you need some good cables. So I have the XLR cable for your microphone, and you have your typical TRS 1/4-inch jack for your guitars, your bass, or any type of instruments that you just want to plug in and start recording. Also, if you're gonna be doing live shows, I highly recommend you doubling up on your cables. So having your cables in your studio and having another set of cables for your live shows so that you don't have to be disconnecting cables all the time, and this goes for USB cables as well. So I have a whole other set of USB cables that I use for my live shows so that I don't have to disconnect all of the cables everywhere. Now, talking about USB cables. Welcome to the world of dongles. The new MacBook Pro has USB-C on it, and so every single instrument and every single thing that I have connected to the computer is the regular USB input. So you have to start getting these adapters for everything. So there's some really good adapters out there. So I'll have a list at the bottom with all the different adapters that I use and the one that work best, because some, if you go for the cheaper version, they just break down real quick or they overheat, and then you have to stop your session because it's not reading your USB anymore. There's a lot of issues with adapters. So once you have all that and you're starting to make music and you're starting to do good, you can start investing in speakers. So I use the Yamaha G5s, which are great, but I also know the KRKs are very affordable and have a great sound as well. So start investing in some high quality monitors for your studio. Not only does it look cool, but it really helps with ear fatigue. If you're mixing on headphones all day long, your ear gets tired and you keep cranking up the volume, you don't hear all the details. So you need to take mini breaks if you're mixing on headphones. Every 15-30 minutes, you stop, take a 5-minute break, come back to it, listen to it. With monitors, you can work a little bit longer because your ear doesn't get tired as quick. So it's it's a high investment, but it's a really good thing to have studio monitors, besides the fact that it just makes everything look more cool. Some cool accessories to have is also a pop filter for your vocals, which will allow you to have much cleaner vocals and avoid all those hard consonants, P's and B's, and just make everything sound a little bit more controlled. Also, a good mic stand with a nice isolated box. I don't know how it's called. I think it's a mic booth, portable mic booth or something like that. It will just avoid any reverberation from your room if you didn't acoustically treat your room yet. And that's the final step, is acoustically treating your room. So mine is not crazy because I got some windows over here, windows everywhere. But that big painting right there in the back is loaded up with towels. I got 2 other paintings over here loaded up in the back with towels that just kind of block any type of echoes and things coming on. So it's still not the best. I'm still working on that phase to get everything nicely treated, but that would be the final stage, is to treat your room. You can do a bunch of music. I did a bunch of music mixed here on speakers, on headphones, back in Argentina in this crazy room. And yeah, it just works fine, so just keep doing it. Oh yeah, so this mic stand with the vocal booth on top, bought that on Amazon all together. They got it shipped. I live in Hawaii, so there's a lot of things that doesn't ship to Hawaii, but this one was able to ship it to Hawaii, which is great. Amazon, you can find a bunch of stuff for cheap, and you can get yourself set up in a day or 2. So I have all the links at the bottom. I have all the links in the description. I have what I use and also some recommendations of mine that are a little bit cheaper that I think are worth it if you can't afford the higher priced ones. And yeah, so start setting yourself up. If you're an artist, start recording your own vocals. You can start making demos, start learning how to record your vocals. You'll speak the same language and you'll have a much better communication with your audio engineer when you go back in the studio if you've practiced it on your own at home. And it's also gonna allow you to record a bunch of demos. That makes it way better. So yeah, peace out, hit a like, subscribe, all that cool stuff that I need to say, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.